Well, hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. All right, I'm continuing my series of Christmas musings among Christmas markets. And today, I'm in Oxford, England. Now, the Oxford Christmas market is relatively new, but it's placed in between these steepled towers of education and these amazing buildings that have stood for centuries. And I'm struck by how this relatively new holiday tradition of a marketplace fits so perfectly in these ancient streets. It brings me 3 points of musing or similarities that remind me of important Christmas messages. The first one I'll call ancient wisdom, fresh light. Paul wrote in Ephesians 5 verse 8, he said, "For once you were darkness, but now you are light in the Lord." And I look at Oxford's centuries-old buildings that have witnessed countless scholars seeking wisdom through study and debate. And yet at Christmas time, these same buildings are reflecting twinkling lights of a market stall, reminding us, or at least reminding me, of the way that wisdom, true wisdom, can often come wrapped in new, unexpected packages. Think about the ancient magi using their learning to try to navigate the stars to find this new little babe that had been born in a manger. And in the same way, we can take all of our learning and history and past and always find something new and fresh in the Christmas story. Let me give you a second musing that I've got from this. I think it's important that we make rooms for new traditions. When Jesus arrived in Bethlehem, there was no room at the inn. And I think it's kind of fortuitous. I think there actually is a fair analogy here that just as Jesus came into the world in the midst of an ancient religion, Judaism, he brought a freshness to that. In the same way, we've got here, as Jesus was fresh in no room at the inn, freshness of the manger scene, we've got here, these buildings don't have room for the market stalls. People wouldn't be able to get in them. But instead, the market stalls are present before the buildings, a newness in the midst of the old. And there's a value for us in making room for new traditions. I hope you'll consider some new holiday traditions. Remember the passage from Isaiah 43, verse 19, where God said, "See, I'm doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Don't you perceive it?" It's a great passage. Christmas is something new, even in the midst of old. And that brings me to my third analogy point. There's a mingling of these times. Looking around, I see the medieval glory with these gargoyles that are watching over these modern market stalls. We've got ancient bell towers that are chiming above the scent of wassail and all sorts of good smells. And this beautiful contrast mirrors how God works in both the timeless and the timely. And the Christmas story is a merger of ancient prophecies expressed in fresh new ways and fresh wonder with a baby's cry. It's that paradox that Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever, according to Hebrews 13:8. And yet, this Jesus makes all things new. So these are just Christmas musings as I'm walking among these twinkling lights that twinkle against these ancient stones. And I'm reminded of God's light shining fresh in every generation. And just as this new market brings warmth and joy to these historic streets, Christ continues to bring new truths, new life, I should say, rather, to ancient truths. Somewhere in there it works. Think about it. That's why I made this your video thought for today.